Wednesday video with the strong girls, Lucy and me, Steffi. In this week's video, we want to talk to you about the deadlift, which is one of the 3 main exercises in powerlifting, but it's also utilized a lot in bodybuilding since it activates a lot of muscles. You might think that it's an easy exercise because it's basically picking up a barbell from the ground, standing up, and that's it. But it involves a lot of technique and you should spend a good amount of time learning that. And in principle, there are 2 different versions of the deadlift. One is the Sumo Deadlift, the other is the conventional deadlift. And if you want to break it down very simplistically, then the conventional deadlift is the one where your feet stand very close together, and the Sumo Deadlift is the one where they stand further apart. And there are different methods how you can find out which version of the deadlift is the best for you. And in this week's video, we want to tell you how you can find that out and how Lucy and I decided for a version and why. The first thing you should look at to decide for a deadlift version for yourself is the length of your arms and your torso compared to your whole body height. And what that shows you is, for example, someone with long monkey arms like myself, I don't need to bend down as far as someone with shorter arms to grab the barbell. And that gives me completely different leverages in the deadlift. Here's what you need to measure exactly. First, you measure your arm length from the bony part of your shoulder to the tip of your middle finger, and your torso length from the bony part of your hip to the top of your head. So when you have those values, you want to relate them to your body height and find out what percentage of your body height is your arm length and your torso length. And then you can see whether compared to the average person, your arms are long or short and your torso long or short for average. And you can put that in this table. So you just have your percentages and then you define your arms and your torso at long, short for average. And then you would go to the next table here, and there you can look up what those combinations mean in relation to what deadlift might be the best for you, depending on your leverages. For example, for me, I have long arms, I have a short torso, so depending on the leverages, a conventional deadlift might be the best for me. The length of your arms and your torso is not the only thing you should consider when choosing a deadlift style. Another very important factor is mobility. So the Sumo deadlift needs a lot of mobility in your hips. And even if your arm and torso length tells you to do Sumos, if you don't have the flexibility, you cannot do it. And then you can either choose to work on your flexibility, or you can lift conventionally and just see how you go with that. Another factor you should consider are individual problem areas. So the Sumo deadlift puts more strain on your knees because you have to push them out so far, and the conventional deadlift puts more strain on your lower back and spine area. And that's exactly the problem I ran into. So I deadlifted conventionally for the past 2.5 years, roughly. I always loved it. It's my favorite lift. It's where I can lift the heaviest. But if I go over like 90% of my 1 rep max, I start getting problems with my lower back, which is mainly because my form breaks down and I'm just lifting out of my back. And I saw a video by Matt Fitness in which he explains why he switched from conventional to Sumo deadlifts, and he had the same problem as I have with the form breaking down and then having problems with his lower back. And after seeing that, I decided to try switching to Sumo deadlifts. About 3 months ago, roughly, to switch to Sumo deadlifts, and I really love it. I don't feel it in my back at all. I didn't have back problems at all since I switched. I'm still weaker in it, obviously, so I have to see how I can progress, whether I can lift more in it at some point or whether I might need to switch back and work on my form in conventional deadlifts. But for now I like it. I'm gonna keep doing it and just see how I can progress in it.
Sumo deadlifts or conventional deadlifts? That's the question. For me personally, I love deadlifting the sumo way. I have been doing them for about 1.5 years, and I switched to sumo deadlifts half a year ago. And I did that because it felt better. It felt more natural for me, and I could lift more. And of course, that attracted me in the first place. What I personally differ in the deadlifts conventional via sumo is that when I do sumo, I place my feet wider than shoulder, actually a lot wider, and I let my feet point out 45 degrees. With conventional, I'd place them about shoulder width, and my feet would point straight ahead. And there could be a couple of reasons why it was easier for me. I have long legs and a short upper body, and usually those people with such proportions are bad deadlifters. The reason for that is that when you stand, you have to look out the weight higher than people who would have shorter legs. And when you lift sumo style, the hip is lower, and therefore the distance you have to lift the weight to lock out is shorter. Sumo deadlifts also activate the glutes more, and also the adductors, the inner thighs, are trained more. So because they're my weaker points, there would be an obvious reason to train them as well. So that's for me the reasons and the benefits of doing sumo deadlifts. And I really am gonna stick with it. And also for my power lifts, I'm gonna do them sumo. And there it was again. It was gone in a second, way quicker than it should. But on the other hand, there will be a new video next week on Monday, and then another one on Wednesday again. So if there are any questions or there are other things you want us to make a video about, then let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to see more of us every week, and we'd love to if you hit the like button. And I don't know why I really say that and what it does, but that's what all the YouTubers do, and we're YouTubers, so we want you to hit that like button. No, but seriously, like us. Now that's important because we make the video anyway, but you could like us, we'd like that. And if you make videos that we'd like, then we'd like the button, and we wouldn't like the button, but we'd like the video, and we'd show that by liking the video, and that we do by clicking the like button. And now I've been rambling way too much for an outro already, but we love you and we see you next time. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.